Good day, Lake Mineola. It's here, your lovely school counselors, to show you what you need to know to pick your courses for next year. We're going to introduce ourselves. Ms. Paul?
I'm Mrs. Paul, class 2025.
I'm Ms. Campus, class of 2024.
I'm Ms. Theobald, class of 2023. Woo woo!
Dr. Dodonna, class of 2022.
And now Ms. Campos is going to take over.
We're going to start out with what does it take to get a standard high school diploma? You need required core credits. Core classes are your English, math, science, history. You have to have at least 4 English classes. So that's freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior English. You need 4 math credits. You need Algebra 1 and Geometry. Both of those are a must. You need 3 science. The one science you have to have in order to graduate is biology. You need 3 social studies credits, world, U.S. history, and then government and econ. Government econ is a half a credit each to equal 3 credits with all those together. You need your HOPE class. You need 1 credit of art, whether that's art, music, drama, DIT. If you have questions about that, you can always ask your counselor. 8 electives total. 1 online course to equal 1 credit. If you take HOPE on campus, that counts as your online course. It's a good thing about that. 24 credits total to graduate, and you must have that 2.0 GPA. You must pass the FSA, ELA, 10th grade with a 350, and you must pass the Algebra 1 EOC with a 497. Early graduation, some core requirements as 24 credits, so if you're trying to graduate early, that's within 3 years. You need 24 credit diploma accept. Only 3 elective credits needed for this diploma. HOPE and online course is not required. Only 18 credits are needed, and students must complete an intent to graduate early form. You have to get with your counselor, and it must be signed by a parent in order to do this graduation option. I'm going to introduce Dr. Dodonna now.
Okay, so let's address early graduation. The Excel diploma takes 3 years. You need to get the same core requirements as the regular diploma, fewer electives, and you don't need to take HOPE. And if a situation arises where you feel like this is something you want to talk to your counselor about and see if this is a right fit for you, by all means, reach out to guidance so that we can help guide you through that. If you want to make sure that you're graduating on time, which is our goal, that's what we're here for, then you need to make sure that you're earning the right amount of credits every year. So freshmen, in order to move to 10th grade, you want to have earned at least 5 credits. Ultimately, you want to, if we have a 7-period day, for example, hopefully at the end of 9th grade, you have 7 credits. 10th grade, to move to 11th, you need to have 11 credits at the end of 10th grade. 11th grade, to promote to senior status, you need to have 17 credits so that at the end of senior year, you have your 24. Side comment is that if you do the math on this, if you're doing what you need to do and getting at least a C in all of your classes, which is the equivalent of a 2.0, and you have a 7-period bell schedule across 4 years, mathematically, 7 times 4 is 28, so you end up with 4 additional credits more than what you need to get the 24 credit diploma anyway. So if you stay on track with all of your classes, earning this amount of credits is a snap. The high school transcript is another important tool that we have from your counselor to use to get you through the process from beginning to end. The transcript is a compilation of lots of different data, and if you need help reviewing yours, by all means, reach out to your counselor for help figuring out what it all means. There's credits and grades and your GPA, both your weighted and your unweighted GPA. Your unweighted GPA has got everything included in it, whereas your weighted GPA only has certain things included in it, so there is a difference there. It also will include test scores from the tests that you take. If you've been here since kindergarten, then you're potentially going to see more test scores than some of the kids who have recently transferred and maybe have fewer test scores on there, but that's okay. And we can help you figure out what everything means when we look at it together. Grades earn you quality points, which are averaged to get you what your GPA is, your grade point average. For bright futures and for colleges, you want to be aiming to have a 3.3 weighted GPA, which is in the B range. For dual enrollment opportunities, you need to aim for an unweighted GPA of at least a 3, which is a B. Because when you think about GPA in terms of letter grades, an A is a 4, and a B is a 3, and a C is a 2, and so on. To graduate, you must maintain at least that 2, which is the equivalent of a C, which is 70% or better, to graduate. You can request your transcripts from the guidance office. In junior and senior year, you would need it for college admissions, for applications, for scholarship opportunities, military enlistment, potentially for employment. Also, when we come visit you in classrooms, we tend to give you like a snapshot version of your transcript so that we can all work together to make sure that everything is correct in your transcript, especially students who have either transferred or taken something online. Sometimes something is missing or needs to be edited. Sometimes we might find out that you took a test for a class that has an end of course exam, but the credit didn't release, and that's easy discussion to have with us and we can fix it. But yeah, when we give you a way to look at your transcript, it's important that you take the time to look it over and see where you stand. It's also important that you pay attention to what classes you have already taken and what you have left to take. Okay, so you will need to graduate. For English, we recommend, if you're going to university, that you focus on taking more challenging versions of classes. Since we don't offer honors at this time, we recommend that students who wish to challenge themselves look at AP classes, such as in 11th and 12th grade AP English. For maths, you need to be getting to Algebra 2 and beyond if you're looking at things like Bright Futures, Scholar Designation, going to university. To graduate, you just need your 4 maths, including the 2 that are required, the Algebra 1 and the Geometry. But if you have higher goals, like going directly to a 4-year university, you want to make sure that you get to Algebra 2 and something beyond Algebra 2. Your 4 social studies classes. There are AP electives within that department, so you could take an additional social studies class beyond the required ones, such as AP European History, or AP Psychology. 4 science classes, as opposed to just the 3 that are required for graduation. If you're looking at a STEM field or health, you want to be taking as many science and maths as you can so that you look good on paper, but also so you get the background information. You need at least 2 years of one foreign language. So while I totally applaud dabbling and learning different languages, if you want Bright Futures, for example, or university admissions, they are looking for 2 years of one language. We currently offer 2 different foreign languages. The ACT or the SAT is required for many colleges for acceptance. So be looking at your colleges of interest's admission pages and see what they are looking for in terms of specific scores, because different schools have different expectations. You want to aim to keep your weighted GPA, that's the one that focuses on your core classes, at a 3.5 or better. And anytime that you wish to know what your weighted GPA is, you can reach out to your counselor or go by Guidance Corner. Then we can talk about Bright Futures for a moment. So Bright Futures has 3 different levels of award. There's the academic scholarship, the medallion, and the gold seal scholarship. They all have their own specific requirements. There is an overview page like this available in the Student Hub, as well as in the Hawk Handbook, and I recommend that families and students pull a copy of this and keep it somewhere handy, that you can use it as a checklist as you proceed from 9th to 12th grade and make sure that you're getting everything taken care of as you go. But pretty much it's talking about taking the required graduation classes and more. So for example, for the Florida Medallion, all of those regular graduation requirements and 2 years of a foreign language. And then it talks about GPA requirements. What I want to comment on and bring attention to is where it gets into talking about SAT and ACT scores. It is an either or. You do not have to master both tests. If you do better on one than the other, that's fine. But I want to clarify that because I always have questions about that whenever I have juniors and seniors. Please be mindful of community service hours and don't wait until the end of senior year to suddenly start looking to volunteer. That becomes very stressful for everyone involved, and it's a good way to miss out on some free Bright Futures money. Okay, we have a Gold Seal CAPE Scholar Award requirement option, which is newer. A lot of people aren't well versed in it, including myself, but we're all learning and we're going to become experts in it. And this is an opportunity, an award where your high school students who want to qualify for this have to meet several specific eligibility requirements. You have to earn a minimum of at least 5 post-secondary credit hours through the CAPE industry certifications, and they will articulate for college credit, which is good. And then you need to complete and turn in 30 service hours, so don't wait to do the service hours. The Gold Seal CAPE Scholar Award may be funded if you are enrolled in a career education or certificate program. So bear that in mind when you're thinking towards the future. What are you going to enroll in? Upon completion of the Associates in Science that articulates to a Bachelor of Science degree, the Gold Seal CAPE Scholar may receive an award for up to 60 credit hours towards the Bachelor of Science degree. And upon completion of the Associate in Applied Science, the Gold Seal CAPE Scholar may receive an award for up to 60 credits towards a Bachelor of Applied Science degree. So it's one where you can keep rolling forward as you accrue more credits. We also have lots of different pathways to get yourself started with college and post-high school activities. We always recommend our AP programs. We have very solid AP teachers and programs here on campus, and we encourage you to look at what we have to offer. There are offerings in every grade level, so you don't need to wait until junior or senior year to try AP classes. There's something for everyone. If you take and pass the exam for AP classes, you earn college credit. It can help increase your weighted GPA. It makes you look like a strong candidate for many colleges as long as you do well in the class. Studies have shown that those students who take AP classes tend to have more positive long-term outcomes where college is concerned, as opposed to those who only do dual enrollment classes. So AP classes are a nice option where you get to stay here with us while you're dipping your toe in the water of the collegiate rigor of school. And ultimately what they do is they prepare you for college. We have multiple dual enrollment opportunities. There's a Lake Sumter option. There is a UF option. The UF option is completely online. The Lake Sumter option has both virtual and in-person classes. And then there's Lake Technical College. Lake Tech, the main campus is in Eustis, and you need your own transportation for that, but they do have satellite programs in places such as Mascot for their nursing program. They only offer programs where there is immediate hireability upon completion of the program. So if a market gets glutted and there's no way to get regular hireability, they pull the program and look for something new and more in touch with the current job market. And then there are the CAPE Academies, where you get your real world skills and you're earning college credit and you're doing some career exploration, and it's very hands-on. And so we encourage you to look at these different pathways to set yourself up for success after high school, because it's not just about getting you to graduation night at the end of senior year. It's about making sure that you have a plan for what comes next. And now I give you Miss Theobald.
Hello. I'm going to be talking about dual enrollment in more detail. I would say that this is one of the most common questions that students have. So I want to be as clear as possible so that you understand how you get there. There is no, you have to take a certain course to dual enroll. So what you do is you enter 9th grade and you take rigorous classes and you do well in them. That's how you prepare for dual enrollment in collegiate study. But in order to be eligible, so eligibility is something else, and that's typically done in the spring of the 10th grade. Students need at that time, a 3.0 unweighted GPA. This is a B average. This does not include the weight from honors and AP classes. So your average needs to be a B average. And then what happens is we advertise the PERT test. We do this in February, and the test is typically taken the end of March. We communicate this information through student email. So it's really important for our students to be checking their student email on a weekly, at least, basis. We send the advertising for the PERT. You have to sign up. We actually just went through this. The deadline was Friday, March 5th. And then students who meet the GPA requirement will be testing on the days advertised. The test scores that you have to pass, so the ACT and SAT can be used as a pathway to be eligible for dual enrollment. However, in the 10th grade, we're focusing on PERT. The ACT and SAT are higher stakes. Those are going to go on your transcripts. Colleges are going to see those. And you want to make sure that when you take those tests that you have benefited from those 3 full years of study, so that you can do your best. So that's why we strive for the PERT, but some students don't pass that right away. So in their junior year, they'll take ACT and SAT and sometimes qualify there. The scores are listed there for you. For Lake Technical College, all you need is a 2.0 GPA, and you need to have passed the high school testing in math and English. So I've provided the concordance scores as well, because you can meet the requirement for these tests through the ACT or the SAT for reading, and then the ACT and SAT and the PSAT 10th grade for the math. So again, you'll complete the testing, and we don't really talk about like the details of what happens there, because you need to be eligible first. And what happens after you become eligible is we call all the students down and we discuss all of that all at once. The application, we show you where you need to go. We give you a task list and resources, and you'll also be able to contact advising at Lake Sumter. High school counselors are in charge of your graduation from high school. So I may not have access to the answers about what you need for your AA degree. So that's a Lake Sumter thing. So we'll complete the application, and then you'll set up your email once it's confirmed from Lake Sumter. And then you'll schedule an orientation and then register for classes. So students who are dual enrolling, you won't know what that's going to look like for you, because Lake Mineola has to build their master schedule, and that's not really final until July, and Lake Sumter has to do their course offerings and open their registration. So you're not really going to know until it's time. That's why I ask you, when you submit your course requests today or in the next few weeks, that you indicate what you're taking here, so that when it comes time, you'll bring me your registration from Lake Sumter and the courses you registered for, and we'll pull out of your schedule what is necessary. Lake Tech, you know what I love about Lake Tech? It's a hands-on type of school. So kind of like our career and technical education here at Lake Mineola, in TV production, our kids are putting their hands on equipment and creating with the skills that Mr. Beckemeyer is teaching, just like in culinary. It's a hands-on type of experience supplemented with instruction. So at Lake Tech, you're not, like at the university. I remember for my bachelor's degree, it was the first 3 years I'm learning, prerequisites and stuff that I don't really care about. I wanted to focus on my major. And in college, your major is really the last year, maybe 2, that you're focusing on that. This takes you there right away at Lake Tech. So, and also it's mostly certification programs. However, those certification programs do translate into credit if you decide to go off to college. So you would have to talk to your receiving school after that if you wanted to pursue that. But they have programs such as cosmetology, welding. Welding is a career. It takes a year to train for it at Lake Tech, and I think it costs like $3,000 something. And you can get paid up to $70,000 a year as a welder. So there are a lot of opportunities here. EMT, medical assisting, firefighter, police, all kinds of opportunities. And then there's medical as well. Medical assistant and patient care technician, CNA, and also they have a culinary program there. And I've met the chef of the culinary program there, and he used to be at a more prestigious school, and he told me that the curriculum offered at Lake Tech is the same as you would pay at the more pricier schools, and this one is a lot cheaper. So I always recommend that you explore these opportunities at Lake Tech. And then University of Florida has opened their doors to our students. This is an online platform only. So, and the test scores and the eligibility criteria are listed for you. But I want to caution students on online at the colleges. This isn't because I'm uncomfortable with you doing online courses. It's because the students I've had in the past have always struggled with the online college courses. So the failure rate is much higher when you do online. So when you commit to this, I want you to understand you're not just building, this isn't just about your high school transcript, you're doing both at once. And I've seen students who have failed courses at colleges while in high school, and it hits their college transcripts. So when they apply to colleges in the 12th grade, and they may be a very good student and have a good transcript here, but because that failure is on there, the colleges won't accept them. So I want you to be very mindful of what you're doing when you take these classes. There are different environments. Here, there's a different set of rules. There's a different understanding, where at the colleges, it's an adult campus. They don't communicate with your parents. So I want to caution you when you're pursuing these options. So we're asking you as a student, you're seeing all this in front of you that you need to perform. You have to do well in classes. You have to pass these tests. It's this constant pressure. And I really feel for you guys. I understand the pressure that you face in showing up to school every day, dealing with, even our mental health, struggling during a pandemic. That's why it's really important that you be connected on your campus. Find your tribe. There are so many opportunities with clubs, sports, even student government that you can find people, meet people, especially if you are interested in, let's say, HOSA, you're really interested in that, then you're going to be exposed to a bunch of people who have the like-mindedness that you have. So it'll give you this connection. And now I'm going to introduce Ms. Paul.
At Lake Mineola, we have the privilege to offer over 23 different AP exams. So every year, our students have the choice to take multiple different exams on our campus. And so the list we have in front of you is some of the lists that we offer this year, but we add at the same time to add whatever the kids need. So next year, we might be adding additional one based on the kids' request. AP classes are definitely not easy. Students who have taken AP classes are not easy classes. They require a lot of after school reading and homework. So students need to be ready to take any type of AP classes they need to take. They're definitely worth the same point as a due enrollment. There are 6.0 weighted a GPA, so they're the same equivalence. If you get the credit, you automatically receive a waiver in college. For AP language, for example, AP language, if you pass that exam with 3 or 4 or 5, 3 is the minimum you can pass. If you end up getting a 3, you automatically can skip your first college class at college. So you will skip ENC 1101. If you end up with a 5 with AP Lang, you automatically can skip 2 English classes in college. You will skip ENC 1101 and then ENC 1102. So any of our exam classes, the AP exam, a lot of parents are like, well, no, my child won't pass that exam. You don't know that. We do have a lot of our students who do pass our AP exam classes. We have had kids who graduated over 18 or 20 college credits, and they're never gone to any college campus or Lake Sumter, for example, and they just passed their AP exams. So it is, which is, is it a great opportunity for our student to try an AP class? You don't have to do all of them, but we definitely have some of them that are more difficult than others. For ninth grade, we start with AP Human Geography, which is a beginning of an intro for students who are coming so young. So AP Human Geography is our introduction. And then later on, we move on to AP World will be our 10th grade class. If you are HSCA student, college, you participate in HSCA, you will start with AP World. The next program we have on our campus, which is probably one of the best programs we'll have, is our AP Capstone program. Our AP Capstone, we are looking for students between 10th grade to even 11th grade. They start with AP Seminar. It is a program that teaches you all kind of skills that are not necessary, even other AP classes do not teach you. They go over writing skills, speaking skills. So you do a lot of different research. You learn to do research. It is a high-end program. It's very difficult, but a lot of our students, once they finish the first class, they would definitely recommend it to other students. They're like, this is one of the best programs. AP Capstone provides you a diploma as well, and a lot of colleges recognize AP Capstone as one of the top programs someone can participate in. So they definitely look into your application once you complete AP Capstone. AP Capstone consists of AP Seminar, then AP Research, and it's required that you pass additional 5 more AP classes for you to get the diploma. If you don't get 5 or you get 4, you could get a distinguished diploma as well. So it's definitely a program that we are searching for students who are looking into, who wants to learn, who wants to dive in and learning and dissect the way they learn and put themselves aside compared to when somebody applied to a college, they have something to brag about that I did AP Capstone, which is a lot of program that the kids can't do. Not everyone can do that program. So if you are interested of taking AP, definitely discuss it with your teacher, discuss it with parents. We are not asking you to sign up for all of them. We're asking for a couple of them if that's what you want, or just one of them. But don't get shy away from AP classes. Next slide, please. If you're talking about science STEM program, we do have, beside our AP classes, we offer additional science classes and math if you're interested of STEM. So definitely these are some of the classes we offer. And again, this is the program you're interested of doing, engineering. You definitely want to go and higher math. You want to leave here with AP Calculus if that's possible, if you are looking at engineering. If you want to be a doctor, you should definitely take pre-calculus before you leave here if that's possible, so that you'll have those skills under your belt, because your friends or your classmates in college are going to have higher math level, so you need to be up to par and ready to embark whatever they throw at you in college. Next slide, please. Some things you need to consider: foreign language. Foreign language is not a requirement for college. It's not a requirement for college. So, not college, high school. So we do offer foreign language. This time we have Spanish and sign language on our campus. We have had Chinese, but we don't have it anymore. So we don't have room for everyone at one time to take foreign language. So we will do our best when you apply, when you say you want a foreign language, we do our best, but it is limited to everyone. Not everyone can have it. Dual enrollment students are an exception. All classes are full year committed. You can change. It's very important that you know when you make that commitment to take classes on our campus. It's not like halfway you decided, like, you know what, this class is not worthy to me. I just don't want it anymore. It is the entire year, especially if we go back to seven period classes. So you have semester 1 and semester 2. So this time when we ask you to select your classes, please discuss it with your parents. Discuss it with your teachers who know you probably best. And don't do it based on what your friends want. So do it what you think you're going to be successful. All right, one goal for graduation. Failing classes. When we do your classes, when it's time for us to select your classes for you, you're going to select from the Google Sheet and we're going to give you access to it. But the Google Sheet means very little if you're failing all the classes that you're currently in. So we just want to remind you, when you submit your list, we are going to go review your test scores, your FSA scores. We are going to review your current classes. So it's very important that you do very well in the classes. So if you're doing well and you tell me you want AP this, you want this class, you want that class, you most likely will receive it. But when we review your classes and if you're not doing well, we go back, we could add the lab for you to repeat a course. If you're failing English 1 right now, you will be repeating English 1 because you cannot really graduate without failing English classes. So if you are currently failing core classes, and I encourage you to seek tutoring, seek help, because then you will need repeating this class next year. You'll be in our lab repeating the course, or we'll send you a letter and tell you you're not on track and you will need to repeat the following classes. So we will add intensive reading if you did not do very well, if you are level 1 or 2. Whether you're coming from the 8th grade, we'll review your middle school grades, and we'll review your FSA scores to determine what is appropriate for you to go to. Because we don't want to add you to any classes that are going to cause you to fail later on. All right, for 9th grade, some of the classes we offer in 9th grade are different than what we offer for 10th grade. That's totally makes sense, right? You definitely cannot take classes where you do not have the prior prerequisite course. So we offer pre-AP English 1. Everyone is placed in this course. We do not offer regular English. Everyone on our campus for the past 2 years have done our pre-AP English program. So we have pre-AP English 1, and that's where everyone will go. It is a way for us to increase our numbers who are able to access. We do not believe that all of our students should be divided between honors and regular. All of our kids are together. They could, on the program, allow the kids, the pre-AP program, allow the teachers to meet the kids where they are. So we ask the kids to do things that might be very difficult at the beginning, but eventually the students are able to step up and deal with the rigor that the program offers. For math, we offer, everyone should have taken pre-algebra in middle school. So Algebra 1 is the first math, or we have liberal art math. Liberal art math 1 is for students who are definitely not ready for Algebra 1, what needs a little bit more review before they go to Algebra 1. As you know, Algebra 1 is one of the must math class that a student must have, and you must pass the FSA test to get your diploma. As a result of that, we do put in consideration some of our students from pre-algebra might not be quite ready to do Algebra 1. It's not so difficult, but some students, they don't like math. So Algebra 1 can appear to be difficult. So we do Liberal Art 1 for some of our 9th graders. The one who are ready go to Algebra 1 based on their FSA scores. And we also have students who already did Algebra 1 in middle school. Then they are placed in geometry. You have the choice to do geometry honors or geometry regular based on your score from FSA in your grade from Algebra 1. We also offer Algebra 2 for students who already completed Algebra 1 in middle school and geometry in middle school and are ready to do Algebra 2 honors. We offer that as well for you to select. Science for 9th graders, we have environmental science honors. All of our students can take environmental science honors, and we also offer biology honors. Our biology honors are for students because our 10th graders, our current 9th graders, are moving to 10th grade, and they will be taking biology. So we have limited space for biology for 9th graders. But however, we do review your FSA scores. If you score 4 and a 5, we will place you in biology if we have the room. But everyone else will be placed in environmental science. Again, AP Human Geography is another course that a ninth grader, rising ninth grader can sign up for. It'll give you opportunity for students who are ready to do AP classes. We are looking for individual who loves to read, who love to do homework possibly, don't mind go home and read additional activities to do at home. We look for usually for students who have scored level 3 through 5 in the FSA reading. They're placed in human geography. We also have pre-AP World Geography. Pre-AP World Geography. Both classes will help students getting ready for AP World. So both of them will help students to get ready. But pre-AP World are for students who might not ready, they're not ready to do human geography, AP Human Geography, and they need one more year. So they can take pre-AP World History and then take AP World History the following year. Again, intensive reading, if you score level 1 or 2 in FSA ELA coming up from your middle school, you'll be placed in intensive reading. So it's important that all of you do very well, because I know this month and the next month is going to be FSA test scores. So you do very well in classes and FSA exams. At this point, I'm going to introduce Ms. Campos, who will discuss class 2024. Thank you.
Expectations for the class of 2024. We have pre-AP English 2. The goal of pre-AP, remember, is to significantly increase the number of students who are able to access and complete college level work. So we are gearing you for that college bound. All mathematics, the progression for the class of 2024 is as follows. Liberal arts math, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, pre-calculus, and so on. So depending on what you took in 8th grade, will depend on what you're going to take in 9th grade, 10th grade, etc. Remember, again, algebra 1 and geometry are required, so you must take those in order to graduate. For science, most 10th graders will be in biology. Some of you may be in this year. If you have, we'll move you to the next level, but for the most part, you will be in biology in 10th grade. And the prerequisite for chemistry is also algebra 2. So you must take those in order to progress on to algebra 2. For social studies, students who took pre-AP World in the 9th grade must choose AP World History. All others must choose World History. So again, that World History is required in order to graduate.
All right. We're getting on to junior year. This is one of my favorite years. This is when we're focusing more on the career and the college side. You've had 2 years to acclimate to high school, so now we're gonna start to, challenge you more and to seek opportunities to place you where you want to be after high school. So students who are looking to go college bound, I suggest AP Language and Composition. If you haven't taken an AP class before, I may ask you to do an academic waiver. All others who are not interested in AP Language would choose English 3. The progression for math, it can get tricky depending on your skills, because as your counselor, I want to protect you. I don't want to place you in courses that are too challenging and then you fail. So if you received a D in geometry or a D in algebra, I'm going to slow your roll. I'm going to put you in, if you got a D in algebra, I may put you in liberal arts math if you haven't had that already. Otherwise, you'll go on to geometry. But if you got a D in geometry, I'm not going to move you on to algebra 2 yet. I don't want to see you fail and then have to repeat. So we'll do some refreshing in liberal arts math 2 before you go on to algebra 2. So, and those who are, mathematicians, which I never was in high school, you can take pre-calculus or statistics. It depends on your path. If you're going STEM or medicine, you're definitely going to want to take pre-calculus. If you're more like a liberal arts type of person, you're going to study, social studies or English or something like that, you could take statistics honors in your junior year. And then from then senior year, we'll make those determinations then. Again, math is a progression. It's a long-term one. You master the benchmarks in Algebra 1, and then you move on to geometry. And if you don't quite grasp those, you may not be successful. So science, if you haven't taken biology, which most of you should have already, there may be a select few that still need it, but if you haven't taken it, you would need to pick that. Other students, you can choose whatever you would like in this category. Again, chemistry, you'll need Algebra 2 as well, and they can be taken concurrently. The skills in Algebra 2 can feed into your chemistry class if you take them at the same time. However, it can be a bit more challenging because there's a lot of Algebra 2 concepts in the chemistry class. If you haven't passed the Algebra 1 EOC yet, that is a concern, and I'm going to do all that I can to provide you the remediation so that you can pass it. Because students who don't pass, regardless if they've earned all the credits and done all the work, can't graduate unless they get a pass on that. So if you took AP World History in the 10th grade, you may choose AP US History. AP US History is a bit more challenging. There's a lot more content in the US History AP class. So I ask you to choose wisely. There is a lot of reading and writing in AP US History and a lot of content to cover. So I would expect you would have a couple hours of study after school on a daily basis. All others would just choose US History. If you're interested in AP classes and you're not sure which way to go, you can always email me, and I'll be happy to help you. Now I'm going to introduce Dr. Dodano, who's going to talk about 12th grade.
Okay, so my class of 22, you finally are going to make it to the last showdown. We're going to pick your last set of classes here in high school, and you need to take it seriously while it is a time of excitement and celebration because it's your last so many things as you approach senior year. You need to focus when you're picking your classes. And I know some people, because of the interesting schedule options we've had this year, have some things maybe slightly either additional or out of sync, but we're going to get you all back on track. And again, I'm going to encourage you to be checking your student email and making sure that your home contact information is accurate with us so that if I'm reaching out to you by email and I'm calling the house and I'm mailing letters home, that you and your parents are getting my communications because we've got some really important stuff to do and we really don't have that much time to get it done. And if I need to get a hold of you or a parent because we need to discuss the situation for good or for bad, I need to be able to get a quick turnaround. So double check that your contact information is right so that when we're working on picking classes and talking about senior year stuff, I'm able to take care of that efficiently with you and answer all your questions and all your parents' questions. So when we get to Englishes, we're going to look at what you did this year and what you've done in prior years, and we're going to help you decide if you need to be an English 4 or an AP English. And as Ms. Theobald said, talking about the math, part of my job is to protect you. So if I have watched you have a bumpy year this year and then you want to take something that's more challenging, I might have a discussion with you about that before we make a final decision. I might require an academic waiver form signed by you and your parents to own responsibility of that choice if I'm advising one direction and you're wanting to do something more. Because my end game, no matter what else I accomplish with you, besides getting you out of here kind of in one piece mentally and physically, is to get you a diploma at the end of senior year. And if I feel like you're taking something that's going to get in the way of that, I do need to have an informed discussion with you and your parents about that. The math progression, like we've all talked about, it becomes more and more individualized the further into high school you get. What I will say, because I seem to have a contingent of students interested in psychology every year, is that if you're not sure what math to take and your plan in college is a psychology program, you do want statistics before you leave the safety of the high school bubble so that you don't go into college and take statistics and have your mind completely blown. Please, I encourage you, if that's a path you're interested in, to consider taking psychology or statistics to pair up with your future psychology endeavors. You do need to make sure that you have passed your algebra and your English exams for graduation or a concordant exam. And if you're not certain if you have done that, you can ask me. You can keep an eye on the letters that I send home to my students that are not on track. You can know that you haven't passed it because I keep scheduling you to sit for these tests. But better to be certain than to guess and to guess incorrectly, because again, if you don't pass those exams or the concordance of the ACT or the SAT and what have you, then at the end of senior year, you don't walk out of here with a diploma in your hand. And we don't want that for anybody. So for science, you need to make sure that you took biology and 2 others. And if you're looking for universities or specific programs of study after high school, then be taking appropriate science options to fulfill those plans and dreams. I am happy to talk you through our options. I am going to encourage everyone to be taking classes that they want, not teachers that they want. Let me say that again. You're signing up for the class no matter who the teacher is. We have had amazing teachers leave us for jobs such as going to work at NASA, and it's a shame when you wanted that teacher, but if we are offering the curriculum that you want, you need to choose the class, not the teacher. For social studies, a discussion I've had a bunch of times recently is that government and economics are 2 individual classes that you need to take both of, not either or, to graduate. If you don't take the AP and honors version, you will take a half a credit of each, but you will take both in order to graduate. If you opt to take the higher order AP honors, and we are on a 7-period bell schedule, then that would last you 1 period all year long. If you are taking the regular economics and government, you can get both done within 1 bell period throughout the entire year. You would take one the first half of the year and the other the second half of the year. Even if you take the upper level, you still must take both classes. So if you want the AP versions, you need to make sure you have enough room in your schedule to accomplish that. And if you are needing to recover courses or take intensive language arts, you are paring down the number of free periods you have left to schedule electives for senior year. If you want to take the more rigorous AP options of the social studies classes, and I am recommending that you take the regular government and economics, again, I would need to get that academic waiver form completed and signed by both you and your parents, and I'm happy to always have a discussion with you and your family so that we can make good decisions for you together. And at this time, I'm going to give it back to Ms. Theobald, and I thank you for your time.
Okay, so the end game. We want you to take your time and choose your classes wisely. We've provided you this video in hopes that it would assist you in making those decisions. We've given you a planning sheet and a course selection sheet. Take those items home, talk with your parents, talk with your teachers, and then when you're ready, you will go to Google Classroom and ClassLink and you will join the Lake Mineola High School registration course, which I've provided the course code for you, so you would join by clicking the plus sign in Google Classroom, adding the code. There you will find your link to select your courses. Now, this sheet can only be completed once. You can't go in multiple times after you change your mind. So that's why we're asking you to take your time. The deadline to complete this is April 16th. So, and this is for current Lake County students. If you're a new or a transfer student coming to us, our registrar will be sending you a link to complete your course selections. And then I know that you're gonna have questions. So we're setting up, and we're gonna remain flexible because we don't know how this is gonna go. We typically come to each classroom and see you every year, but because of the pandemic and the block schedule, we don't have access to everyone in English at the same time. So it's been problematic. So that's why we're doing the video, so that we can access each student and give you all the information. So we're gonna be setting up Q&A sessions for you to check into. So what you need to do to get the updates, because we may have, more than one for you to attend, is to check your student email. This is a really important thing to stay connected. And also, we will be posting updates in the registration Google Classroom. We look forward to seeing you and helping you along this journey. Thank you.